Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to your latest episode of We Live in Color. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Now, today is probably going to be one of my most favorite shows that we're doing here today, okay? Welcome. Have you ever heard that song by Adina Howard? Freak like me, I could be a freak until the day, until the dawn. Well, we're going to talk about that within safety. So welcome to Pleasure to Hold, y'all. I'm here with my friend Cherub ONYX. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. We talk about freaking this out loud.
Right, because it's just time. You know, I think that, while all these things have been impacting us, even speaking for myself, right? I as living in my spaces of addiction, right? I have not been able to find my even sexual side, right? Mm-hmm. So, but also like I didn't even know some of the things that I liked was kink. Can you kind of give the description of like what kink is?
Yeah. So a kink is anything that you're kind of into sexually that is outside of the quote unquote norm. And the norm, of course, is like penetrative sex with like anal sex or oral sex. So anything that you're into sexually outside of that, right? Which is like really interesting because I feel like a lot of people are kinky and they don't necessarily define it as kink, right? So as we go through this show, I feel like by the end, you'll be like, oh, like I got this kink, that kink, that kink, right? So kink is really just like kind of creating more definition and understanding and experience around the things that are outside of the norm that we've already defined.
Okay. And also, so you are one of the founders of Pleasure Hole. Can you let us know what Pleasure Hole is?
Yeah. So Pleasure Hole is a community, right, that really supports each other in our journeys around kink. And the community centers Black and brown queer folks, especially. What makes Pleasure Hole really interesting is that it's a pansexual community. So it is for people who are attracted to all different genders, all different bodies. And really the only thing that, is the thing that we all are focused on is like really exploring our kinks and expressing them. Okay.
And how did you get started?
My journey?
Can you take me to your journey?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, I think that a lot of people are kinky. Right. Like, so I would say that I've probably engaged in kinky things for like a long time. And I'm so glad I didn't tell my mom I'm doing this. So I hope so. No one.
Are you real beefy? Are you from Seattle?
No, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Yeah.
Shout out to the D.
East side. But so 313. Yeah. So I like, I started off in my, like, as soon as I left home, like I went to college and like I just explored and tried different things. And I think the first thing I discovered was kind of like the cruising scene, where it's like, and I think there's a lot of kink.
Can you kind of describe what cruising means?
Yeah, so cruising is an art form, not an art form. It's kind of a way to connect with people, especially because like queerness is something that you have to kind of do in the shadows and you can't talk about. Cruising is where like a lot of queer people go to like an undisclosed place, like a park that's really dark, or an alleyway, or a bathroom, or some place that people don't go often.
Or a video store.
On Des
Moines.
On Des Moines.
So
I heard, right? But like, so cruising is going to those spaces and engaging in sexual acts, like in quiet. And what's really interesting that you don't talk. Like in cruising, you actually like really communicate with your eyes. So I was like really young. I would go to these, like go to a pier, go to a video store and be in the dark, in the shadows, like looking at people and trying things and, not talking about it. And I think that was the beginning of my kink journey. Right. But I think what got me into like this more conscious kink journey is I actually had a friend who or someone I met on an app who I like followed on social media, and they would post all these pictures of them in all this leather. And like they had like they were a dog that had a pup mask.
Hold on. What is a what mask?
A pup mask.
Okay.
And we have one here. So, and I think maybe you could try it on.
Don't play with me because I'll try it on.
Right. So, but yeah, so they had a pup mask. And like, I remember looking at the pictures and being like, what in the world is this? Like, I've never seen a Black person wear this or look like this or do this. And then I kind of got to know them more, and they told me more about like ONYX, which is this leather club that I'm in. It's a leather club for Black and brown queer men. And ONYX, when I was, preparing to join, it's kind of like a fraternity, a kinky fraternity.
Yeah.
When I was crossing, like they really teach you a lot about kink and help you explore your kink journey. And I think that's kind of where I consciously started, was with ONYX.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Now, okay, so we're going to talk more about ONYX, a little bit more about Pleasure Hole and Pup Mask. When we come back, you're watching We Live in Color.
Community, it's been 3 years since we've been able to celebrate in person at our annual Evening of Choice. And this year at Access in Pioneer Square on October 19th at 6 p.m., we will be back together again, celebrating our journey, healing towards justice. This past couple of years have been incredibly difficult for our young people and our community at large. And one thing that has become clear and absolutely true is there's one way forward that brings all of us together, and that's as we heal. And when our young people heal, they're truly able to become who it is they've been purposed to be. So on this evening, you'll hear stories of our young people, hear the evolution of our organization as we emphasize healing in our cause. And together we will celebrate another year of impact and growth as we journey towards justice together. Again, it's at Access in Pioneer Square, 6 p.m. on October 19th, and live streaming will be available through YouTube at I Choose 180.
Basically, fam, believe in giving. Like, we have to be willing to give more, and people seem to always think giving means money, but nah, bro. It's like you can give time, you can give understanding, you can give access, you can give a listening ear and an open heart. You can give and share your God-given gifts and talents, but you just got to give.
And we're back, okay? How you doing?
I'm good.
I want to get some more. I'm sorry. So I want to know a little bit more just about ONYX. Can you kind of let people know what group that is?
Yeah, and I'll show you the patch.
Okay. You better show that patch. Hold on 1 second. See, Ronald Ronell, somebody did twerk up in here, right? Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so ONYX is kind of a leather club for Black and brown queer men, especially who want to get into the kink scene. And because, like, I know, like, especially if any Black people are watching this, like, a lot of Black people be like, oh, kink is not for Black people. Like, that's some white people-ish.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about that all the time. And it's not necessarily that it is a white people thing, but it is something that white people feel more comfortable engaging in. Yeah. It is a scene that white people have explored deeper. And so ONYX, like, in order, like, literally like a form of justice is ONYX existing and ensuring that Black and brown people have access to our journeys. And so, like I said, until I got into ONYX, I didn't consciously think about what my kinks were, right? Like, ONYX helped me create my kink bag, talk about safety, consent, negotiation, expose me to community.
Can you talk a little bit about that negotiation part?
Yeah, and like negotiation is really, and hopefully when we talk, and when you ask what kink is, I should have been really clear about that, is that the three parts of any kink play is firstly negotiation, right? And consent. That's like the most important thing we teach when we talk about kink, which is why everyone is like, oh, kink is so dangerous. But the funny thing is that kink is safer than most vanilla or like typical sex. Like, most sex parties or sex spaces are a lot more dangerous than kink spaces are, because they don't talk about consent and negotiation. So that happens, then the play happens. And then after that, you have the aftercare, which is like taking care of your body and your mind, because you might have done something pretty intense or something that took you out of your typical mode.
Have you had to ever do aftercare?
Yes, especially because I will talk about it, and hopefully when we talk to Sir Wonko, they talk more about being a dom. But, like, you know, when you're a dom, and
let us know what dom is. I mean,
I know there's so many terms, and that's the tough part about kink, is like, once you get it, I'm like so used to saying this to my friends, like, yeah, I'm a dom, kink, aftercare. You know, we talk about it all the time, but doms are the people who really kind of like that. So in kink, there's BDSM, and it's about power exchange. So doms,
BDSM,
yeah, bondage, dominance, sadomasochism.
Huh?
Yes.
Rewind that. Hold on, wait a minute. I didn't know that that's what it meant.
Yeah, so it's pretty much different forms.
Okay, so bondage, and then dominance,
and then
sadism,
masochist and sadist.
Okay, let's rewind to the sadist part, right? Yeah. Can you break that down?
Yeah, what a sadist is. Sadism is the desire to, like, inflict pain on people. Right. And like masochists are people who like to experience pain. Okay. So yeah, all of that plays into it with doms, where it's like, if you have the power, if someone is giving you power and they're like allowing you to do these things and you are supporting them, you have to also support with the aftercare. Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying, hold it like you hold something, okay?
But yeah, so when you, especially when you're the dominant person, like, aftercare is really, and for any play it's important, but aftercare and supporting other people, especially if you're inflicting pain on them, if you're like hitting somebody or you're doing something to them that, like, you know, is shocking a little bit, to be able to bring them back to their body, aftercare is critical. And so those are the components of kink.
Okay. And let me ask you another question. I heard something about, like, shock therapy. Does that also, electric shock people are into that. Have you?
Yeah, electro play.
Electro play. Have you ever done that?
I actually have an electro wand. Yeah.
Well, oh,
yeah.
Okay. How does that work?
So I mean, it's pretty. There's varying levels to it. Like, and that's the cool thing about any kind of sensation. It's sensation play. Like, and again, like all of it has its own world to it. But like in sensation play, right? You might want like a little, like there's some like the little tickle that you might experience from electro play, or there's the like extreme shock that hurts, right? And based on the person and their tolerance to pain and their desires, you kind of like gauging on that. So yeah, it can be pretty intense, but it also can be like very like just weird. It can just make you jump a little bit.
See, okay, I'd be scared of electrotherapy. Yeah, I'm here though. Yeah. I'm here to learn today. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how's it been in the experience of like even you in Seattle in the ONYX community and with the Pleasure Hole community?
Yeah, the tough part about being in ONYX, like I crossed in ONYX Northwest, which is mainly in San Francisco and Oakland. So there aren't a lot of ONYX brothers in Seattle. So there's some ONYX here, but not a lot of us. So we actually have to build our own community here, which is another challenge, which is why Pleasure Hole exists. It's like ultimately there's a lot of kink spaces. Like Seattle is a kinky city. Like, don't ever get me wrong that there's a lot of kinky people in this city, but a lot of them are white, or a lot of them are at least in white-centered spaces. And one thing hopefully we talk about is that it is traumatic for Black people to like do some of this, right? It doesn't seem safe. It doesn't seem normal. No one gave us any like blueprint to engage in some of this stuff. Like our mom wouldn't have never did it. Maybe they do, but they never talked about it.
Yeah.
Because, people are kinky, like Black people especially are creative and freaky and kinky, but like we don't talk about it. And so like we feel really concerned about entering into the spaces. So we created Pleasure Holes so that we can have it be a safer experience where you can go around. Like we literally go with people who come to Pleasure Holes, it's their first time. They've never experienced kink ever in their lives, or come to a kink party or experience kink play. And we kind of guide them slowly into that.
And how often do you have the parties?
Bi-monthly, so every other month.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got some more questions. And you have some equipment here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna check some of those out in just a second. But coming up next, we have Sir Wonko. Okay. You are watching We Live in Color. Here we go.
Community, it's been 3 years since we've been able to celebrate in person at our annual Evening of Choice. And this year at Access and Pioneer Square on October 19th at 6 p.m., we will be back together again, celebrating our journey, healing towards justice. This past couple of years have been incredibly difficult for our young people and our community at large. And one thing that has become clear and absolutely true is there's one way forward that brings all of us together, and that's as we heal. And when our young people heal, they're truly able to become who it is they've been purposed to be. So on this evening, you'll hear stories of our young people, hear the evolution of our organization as we emphasize healing in our cause. And together we will celebrate another year of impact and growth as we journey towards justice together. Again, it's at Access and Pioneer Square, 6 p.m. on October 19th, and live streaming will be available through YouTube at I Choose 180.
The truth with proof, the truth with proof. If you nice with the sports, then he swooping through. He gon' highlight you. Ain't nobody live like us, fly like us. We gon' find you, put the city behind you. Let us know you got skills, we gon' be at a game. In the Northwest, we reppin' the city where it rain.
And we're back. I've been smiling ear to ear because now I'm here with Sir Wonko. How you doing, brother?
Yes, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy that you're here. Can you tell us a little bit, because you are one of the founders as well of Pleasure Hall, right? And are you from Seattle?
No. I'm actually from the Midwest. I lived down in the South in Georgia for a little bit and then moved to Seattle.
Okay, so how did you get into the scene, so to speak? Can I say the scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually in college. There was a group of students that realized there weren't any kind of BDSM clubs. And I was actually, one of them lived on my floor. I was an RA at the time. And so I went there supporting him, but also curious about kink, curious what they're talking about. Because I'd just been interested in alternative sexual lives for as long as I can remember. So this was something I had heard about but hadn't seen. And so, yeah, I went to one of their parties. It was just an informal get together, just like a munch is what we call them.
Hold on, what is it called?
A munch.
It's called a munch?
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
MUNCH.
Okay.
Munch.
Just
yeah.
a quick little munch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a community event. It's a social event specifically for kinky folks, for folks in BDSM. It traditionally it's potluck, so folks would just bring in plates, but that's not how we do it now.
They're bringing in more than Blaze. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right. So it'll usually be at a restaurant or at a coffee shop, and yeah, it's for people who don't know anything to come and get information, actually talk to people who have experience, and for it to be in a less aggressive, a less intimidating environment, which a play party would be.
Yeah.
And it's also a way of vetting people before you allow them into the play party.
Okay. Vetting is important, I'm quite sure, right?
Yes.
So you are a dom, right?
Yeah, I'm a
Can
dom.
you, what is that experience like? Because I can't say, or I was at a party once and you was given life, but can you explain what's the experience of a dom? What do you prefer in that space?
The dom experience is first and foremost about responsibility. You have to acknowledge the responsibility as a dom because someone is submitting their body to you. Someone is allowing you to do something that traditionally causes harm. And this is also exploring a space mentally that they may not be able to explore in any other way. And that's why aftercare is really important, because you can do some really traumatic things and have things that just pop up when you're physically getting hit.
Mm-hmm. So can you give me some examples of what a dom would do?
Yeah.
You're an attractive brother. I'm just saying now. It's like, no, but can you let me know?
Thank you. So in a scene or in just in general?
Sure.
So yeah, the dom or top, they're not the same thing, but a top would be the person who is actively inflicting the pain or doing the thing, and the bottom or the sub would be receiving the thing.
Okay.
Now the difference between top and dom and bottom and sub, dom and subs that's a specific relationship. That's a specific kind of relationship and intimacy between those two and an agreement. But with tops and bottoms, that's a much more casual thing. There's not a power dynamic there. And so it's not about someone submitting. It's just about, we like doing this. Our kinks match up.
Yeah.
So
have you ever had experience where where it wasn't a line like that?
Yeah, because you meet people at play parties and you may want to play with them, but if you're two tops, then that's not fun.
It's not fun? Not for you?
No, because you're just going to be like trying to hit each other, and then like there's nothing that two tops can do, unless you're doing a double flogging. But that's,
we'll get into flogging. We'll get into flogging in a minute. So throughout this experience, have you ever been submissive, or have you ever been submissive?
No.
Okay.
No.
You said hell no.
But it's not outside of a normal experience for that to happen. Part of the reason why I have not explored that or have not been under a dom, because you meet an elder dom and they'll train you, was because of
elder dom.
Yeah, just someone who's been in the lifestyle for a while, someone who knows what they're doing, someone willing to mentor you, and you can go under them for training. In Savannah, where I was, it was all old white men. Mm-hmm. And while they are knowledgeable about kink, I didn't want to give that kind of power exchange in a place where it's like in America.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
so my learning of kink was very, very much self-led or talking to people at parties. I led a kink group in Savannah for about a year. And that helped me to meet other people. We would bring people in for demos, which are demonstrations of different types of kink play. So we had a wax play demo. We had an interrogation demo, which was really cool.
Okay, break down an interrogation demo.
Okay. An interrogation demo is it's just like the interrogation scenes that you see in a movie, where the dom is, or the top is, trying to get some kind of information out of the bottom. And
What kind of information would that be?
it can be the name of someone. It can be anything, just anything that you can interrogate somebody about. And so it's, with interrogation play specifically, it's very mental and physical. You're, I won't say breaking them down, but kind of breaking them down mentally, as well as flogging them physically or causing physical harm, depending on what you all have negotiated. But in the end, essentially, when the bottom tells the top the information, that's the end of the scene.
Okay. That's interesting. So, never mind. I was about to say some stuff, but I just realized where I'm at. Hold on.
This is a safe space.
It's a very safe space, but my mama's also watching, and I love you, mama. But when we come back, Pleasure Hole is more than just what you might see in the areas of kink. It's also educational. When we come back, we'll talk about what Pleasure Hole has been doing within community spaces. You're watching We Live in Color.
Community, it's been 3 years since we've been able to celebrate in person at our annual Evening of Choice. And this year at Access in Pioneer Square on October 19th at 6 p.m., we will be back together again, celebrating our journey, healing towards justice. This past couple of years have been incredibly difficult for our young people and our community at large. And one thing that has become clear and absolutely true is there's one way forward that brings all of us together, and that's as we heal. And when our young people heal, they're truly able to become who it is they've been purposed to be. So on this evening, you'll hear stories of our young people, hear the evolution of our organization as we emphasize healing in our cause. And together we will celebrate another year of impact and growth as we journey towards justice together. Again, it's at Access in Pioneer Square, 6 p.m. on October 19th, and live streaming will be available through YouTube at I Choose 180.
Basically, fam, believe in giving. Like, we have to be willing to give more, and people seem to always think giving means money, but nah, bro. It's like, you can give time, you can give understanding, you can give access, you can give a listening ear and an open heart. You can give and share your God-given gifts and talents, but you just got to give.
And we're back. And we're back. I'm here with Sir Wonko. Can I be in control? No, I'm playing with you. But
Okay.
he's like, no. He's like, no, show over, right? He said, no, he ain't best to be submissive now. I'm playing. But I wanted to kind of just get it. I'm here with Pleasure Hole and with Sir Wonko, one of the creators of this wonderful experience for our queer community, our community members. Sorry.
Right.
So not only do you have the kink parties, right? You also do what is it? I would say sexual education courses in the space, right?
Right.
Can you get into a little bit about that?
Yeah, one of the things that we noticed early on when putting on Pleasure Hole was that a lot of people who were new to kink were coming. And the main reason that they were coming was because it was an all BIPOC space. And that was literally the only place they felt comfortable being as vulnerable as you have to be in order to engage in that kind of activity, which is what I was alluding to with not wanting to train under anybody in Georgia. So yeah, we decided that there was going to be like an hour before the party, just to have intros, so that you know the people who you're in the room with. And then to have demos and workshops so that we're actually giving people skills and helping them to learn, because the more they know, the better players they can be, the better community members that they can be. And it just helps the community grow from there.
See, and I went to one for Pacific Northwest Black Pride since we started ONYX. Special shout out to the ONYX family, because they always come to bring that type of education, because I think that sometimes we have those wham bam thank you ma'ams and don't actually have the experience to know that we're safe, or actually to be open to finding other ways to be not only just sexual but also intimate, right? Which I really, really love. And after that, you had a party. How was that experience?
That was fun. Our parties are always fun.
Okay. And you're single, right? Are you single?
No,
Okay, so
very
you're
much
partnered.
not. Yes.
Okay.
I'm partnered. I'm poly. I have 2 partners right now. And yeah, that's.
How was that
my
experience being within the experiences of Pleasure Hall?
It's good to have understanding partners. And it's good to have partners that are willing to support. The folks who I'm with are more than happy to come to a party and be a part of it.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to get too personal, but also I'm just thinking just in the areas of just with the group thing, not only would you have to explain to one, now you got to explain to 2. So for me, it would just be complicated.
Oh, up front, first conversation.
Okay. See, I love that. See, and I know that y'all have brought some equipment here.
Yes, we did.
I want to take a look at it. Can we take a look at it?
Do you want to take a look or do you want to feel it?
When we come back, I think what I'm gonna do is feel it. I ain't gotta take no break. Well, we gotta grab the stuff. Bring the bag out. Bring the bag, man. All right. Well,
welcome.
See, O is here. O is directing. Let's bring some of these things out.
There we go.
Let's bring it all over here. Really? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let me see. Make sure you give him the mic too when y'all are describing.
Yeah, so I mean, firstly, brought like some leather items.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, leather has a deep meaning to it, and sometimes it also has a fun meaning. One thing about kink, right, is that kink can be a lifestyle. It can be an activity or a lifestyle.
Okay.
So for people who think of it as an activity, leather is fashionable, right? Leather is cute. Right. And for some people who are in the lifestyle, like leather means some things, like how you earn your leather in the lifestyle. Right. And so there's 2 different ways. So we brought some leather pieces, leather hat, leather vest. Right.
Okay. Hello, somebody.
Come on.
I feel like I'm a part of the Navy. Okay.
Exactly. A fun Navy.
Cute.
So that's the thing. We brought harness. But I guess maybe a flogger. You can talk a little bit about.
All right. What's that?
Sir Wonko.
What's that? What is that?
It's a cat of 9 tails.
Okay. What's that do?
It gives a stingy type of pain.
Okay.
And yeah, it hurts.
Okay.
It can hurt.
You can hit the chair. Hit the chair. You want to hit the chair because you ain't about to hit me with that.
No. I wouldn't even. This is not for beginners.
Okay. And what's that?
Whip.
No, ain't nobody about to whoop me on this set. Now, wait a minute. Now, we doing an interview. I'm with the Pleasure Hole, but ain't nobody about to whoop me.
And if we were, we would negotiate it.
Thank you for negotiating.
Consent is number 1.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, and that's important too.
So one kink, right, that people really enjoy, one form of play is rope play or bondage.
Okay, I've role played before.
Yeah, like not rope, a part of role play, but rope play.
Rope play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know, Sir Wonko, if you want to like talk a little bit more about that.
Tell us a little bit more about that, Sir Wonko. Go show. All right, you can do my arm, just the arm. How can you tie the arm, or what do y'all do? Hold on, let me take this off. Okay. Okay. So how often are you into rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rope play is one of my kinks.
Okay, rope play. See, no, it's okay. What's this? Let me go in here.
That's
all right, rare. Okay. Can you describe what this is?
Yeah, so that is it's a pup mask of sorts. It's actually custom made. It was made for me by Ocelot Trade. Yeah, Ocelot Trade. But yeah, he made it. This actually has like rabbit fur on the hood. It's rabbit fur behind the ears. Yeah, and it's like it's not a traditional pup hood. It's actually like a mythical creature, like a moon lion. Like the eyebrows have lightning bolts, so it's like really custom to me because I have like a lightning bolt on my arm. Lightning bolts are really important.
It's giving me Ariana Grande from the Dangerous Woman era, but I don't believe. You know.
Exactly, that's not what I was thinking, but I was like, I don't. But yeah, so like yeah, it means a lot, and I think it's also like for me, like hoods are. It make you feel safe, like especially if you're in a community space and you're like, I don't know, I don't want people to see me here. I don't want to be myself. Like I don't want to be myself tonight. I want to be something else tonight, right? It lets you get into that headspace, so it supports you.
Okay, so my head is kind of big, so can you help me take this off, please? Sorry, y'all. This happened the last time when Casually was here. Thank you. And what's the next one? What's this one? Oh, I like this. What's this one? Somebody.
That's a pup mask. That's yeah, you can go ahead. Actually, it's called a pup hood.
Okay.
But yeah, it goes.
My head's big, so hold on now.
And that one is really tight too, so it's gonna hurt. You don't leave it on too long. It really will give you a headache.
Okay. I got it on. Okay.
So yeah, one thing that's I learned this from Pup Jabari is like one benefit of pup space, why people like to do it is because sometimes you want to let go of like your human responsibilities. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, you know, especially from being an adult in America, like it's tiring. It's just so tiring. You got to have the job, you got to clean, you got to go grocery shopping, you got to do these errands, you got to take care of your friends and take care of yourself. When you're in pup space, you don't have to do none of that because now you get to be something else.
Okay, so can you break down? Can y'all hear me? Okay, because I can hear me. Can you define pup?
Yeah, like I mean, like a pup, and a pup could be defined in a lot of ways. Because like everyone has a dog, and your dogs have different personalities than your friend's dog. Like everyone's version of pup is a little bit different. You might be a guard dog. You might be like a strong. You might just be like a dog that likes to get petted. Like I don't know. Is it appropriate for like asking for consent to like scratch you?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So like one thing that's really cool when you're in pup space is like getting scratched like a dog or like. Right? it's like okay, really right. You get to petting you on the stomach or something, like right. And like so some people like pup space because that's when people just really care for them. Like they don't have to do anything besides be cute and be cared for.
I like that.
The same thing goes for little space, pet play in general.
Okay.
It's just where you embody an animal. Little space is something else. But yeah, it's that innocence, that safety that people are usually going for with those kinds of play.
Okay, see, that is interesting. Now we just got a couple of more seconds because see, this. I'm gonna try this on. What is this again?
That's a harness.
It's a harness. Okay, we're gonna try this on. We just got to take a quick break, and I got to get a little bit of circulation in my head. Y'all are watching We Live in Color.
Community, it's been 3 years since we've been able to celebrate in person at our annual Evening of Choice. And this year at Access in Pioneer Square on October 19th at 6 p.m., we will be back together again, celebrating our journey, healing towards justice. This past couple of years have been incredibly difficult for our young people and our community at large. And one thing that has become clear and absolutely true is there's one way forward that brings all of us together, and that's as we heal. And when our young people heal, they're truly able to become who it is they've been purposed to be. So on this evening, you'll hear stories of our young people, hear the evolution of our organization as we emphasize healing in our cause. And together we will celebrate another year of impact and growth as we journey towards justice together. Again, it's at Access in Pioneer Square, 6 p.m. on October 19th, and live streaming will be available through YouTube at I Choose 180.
truth with proof, the truth with proof. If you nice with the sports, then he swooping through. He gon' highlight you. Ain't nobody live like us, fly like us. We gon' find you, put the city behind you. Let us know you got skills. We gon' be at a game. In the Northwest, we reppin' the city where it rain.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, y'all. I done put on the harness. This is I feel naked. My breasts are showing. I feel comfortable. Can you explain?
Should be a little higher.
Higher. Can you fix it? Adjust it, because
There you go.
my left eye I can't see it. Hold on. There we go.
You got it.
Okay. Can you explain
You
a little
good?
bit more with the harness?
Harness is just a big part of leather play.
Okay.
And the leather lifestyle. Like Cherub was saying earlier, in like old guard leather, you earn your leather. You can't just wear it. It's similar to fraternity colors and letters. But other folks, I mean, as kink has gotten more popular, you've seen harnesses used.
I have seen this a lot.
Yeah, like in fashion. Yeah,
shout out to
fashion
Lil Nas
shows. There you go. Right. So yeah, it's becoming a casual thing, but like most things, it has its roots.
How often do you wear harnesses?
Not often, but now more often because of this one that I got.
I like that one. Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's a custom harness that I got from Doghouse Leathers. Shout out.
Okay.
Casey. Yeah, it was great. We actually, Cherub and I did a shoot with them for these harnesses.
I heard about this
because this is Cherub's.
Okay.
But yeah,
it could be mine. You never know.
Make sure you get. But yeah, that should be on their website soon. Okay. Yeah.
This is great. So I know we're gonna get ready to get out of here in a few, but I know y'all have a party coming Saturday, right?
Saturday, the 21st of October. Friday, yeah, Friday, the 21st of October.
Come on now. Come on. So it's Friday the 21st?
Yeah, so Friday the 21st.
Look over there. No, this is where we look at them. There we go. We got to take a step back.
Friday the 21st. Come check out Pleasure Hole Seattle. We're gonna have Freaky Friday.
I'm a model while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Start over.
So Friday the 21st is Freaky Friday at Pleasure Hole. It is a Halloween themed play party. It's gonna be a sexy costume contest. We're gonna have demonstrations. We're gonna actually do a workshop around multi-scene play. Which will multi-play scenes. And what a scene is ultimately like intentional play. So say you liked pup play, like a scene would be like you getting into pup space and us actually like going through an experience together in pup space. And so we're going to teach a workshop on how to do that. So if you like bondage or if you like getting spanked, we'll talk about how to put those things together. It's like, oh, I tied you up in little handcuffs and we spanked you and did like a little interrogation. So we're going to have a workshop like that. We're going to have a costume contest. And then there's going to be plenty of opportunity to get to know other people in community who are also kinky, who want to explore with you.
Right. That's the whole point, is building community. And we want y'all out there. We know that there's more of you. It's okay.
And we're going to find you.
It's a safe place.
It's a safe space. Yeah. But so follow us on Pleasure Hole Seattle. PLEA Pleasure Hole HOLE Seattle. On Instagram, where we give updates and information. You can also message us there. If you have any questions, like I said, like we really are here for you on your journey. So even if you don't want to go to a party yet, you're not ready to come out in person, people constantly like message us and ask us questions and try to learn more about what the party is. So definitely feel free to do that.
Yep.
I appreciate y'all so much. I'm sorry, but I appreciate Pleasure Hole for coming. I thank y'all so much for being here. Please send me y'all stuff. Hey, I might be there. I'm just saying. But in the meantime, please join us next week where we'll be talking about real estate. Okay.
Similar vein.
Where I won't be here. I don't. Either way, I want to thank my wonderful guests. I want to thank my director here. You're watching We Live in Colors. Can y'all get the circulation's cutting off?
Yeah, I told you don't wear it for too long.
I mean, it's for small heads. My head's big, brother. Hold on. Safe word. Safe word. Safe word. Now, come on. Let's do this now. Oh, I ain't even cut off the camera. Go ahead.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.